Chosen one. Pause for a moment. You feel it, don't you? The stillness before the revelation, the subtle stirring in the atmosphere that seems to whisper your name. Heaven has pressed pause on everything else just to speak to you right now. You are not like the rest. You never were. You were set apart before you were even born. Woven in divine intention, marked for a purpose that darkness cannot comprehend. There are meetings happening about you, words spoken in secret, eyes watching your every move. Yet even before their whispers began, heaven already knew, already saw, already decreed. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. You can sense the change in the wind, the unease of those who once smiled in your face, now gathered in hidden corners, speaking your name with envy, confusion, and fear. They cannot understand why light keeps following you, why every attempt to break you only multiplies your strength. They thought your silence was weakness, but heaven calls it divine strategy. While they planned, you prayed. While they spoke against you, you stayed still, allowing the Almighty to move unseen. Listen carefully. You are the conversation of realms. Heaven and hell have both mentioned your name, but only one kingdom has written it in fire. The secret meeting about you wasn't just on earth, it was spiritual. Hell discussed your potential. Heaven defended your purpose. There were tears shed, not because you were defeated, but because you were revealed. Those who underestimated you have realized they weren't dealing with ordinary flesh, but with one anointed for this hour. You have been through seasons that stripped you bare. The nights when no one saw your tears, the days when you smiled through silent battles, all of it was recorded. Every heartbreak, every betrayal, every delay has become material heaven uses to justify your next elevation. You may have felt forgotten, but you were being fortified. The refining was not punishment, it was preparation. There are times you wondered, why me? Why do they hate me when I've done nothing but love them? The answer is simple. Light exposes what hides in the dark. You carry a brilliance that unsettles pretenders. Your peace irritates chaos. Your favor confuses those bound to comparison. They see your resilience and think it's arrogance. But heaven knows it's endurance. They talk, they plot, they whisper, but in the stillness, God laughs. Beloved, you are entering a divine unveiling. The same mouths that doubted you will soon testify of what they tried to destroy. You are stepping into a moment where heaven will confirm what earth tried to conceal. The whisper that reached heaven has now become a command. Touch not my anointed, and do my prophet no harm. The tide is turning, and every hidden thing will soon be revealed in perfect light. Don't shrink back now. Don't let fear make you question what God has already sealed. The same spirit that hovered over the deep in Genesis now hovers over your life, bringing order where there was confusion, clarity where there was distortion. What was once scattered is aligning. What was delayed is being released. You are not chasing validation. Heaven already endorsed you. As the prophet wrote in the scroll of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3, for the vision waits for the appointed time, though it linger. Wait for it. It will surely come. It will not delay. Even when it feels like nothing is happening, heaven is moving. Even when people conspire, their words only push you closer to fulfillment. Every tear you cried watered the ground for your own harvest. Every time you chose silence over revenge, Heaven recorded another act of faith. You are not behind schedule. You are perfectly timed for breakthrough. And remember this: chosen one, divine timing never rushes, yet never fails. The delay you fear is only heaven's way of aligning the right hearts, the right doors, and the right stage for your unveiling. Trust the process. What's forming in secret will soon thunder across the earth. And when the world sees what is about to unfold, they'll realize why the meeting ended in tears, because they saw heaven favor you while their own plans crumbled. Your story is the proof that no opposition can silence divine appointment. So rise, chosen one. Lift your head high and declare with faith, I am seen, I am called, I am protected. Now, if this message speaks to your spirit, let your light be heard in this moment. Like, share, and subscribe so this word can reach every chosen one who needs to hear it. And comment the prophetic number 777 below to declare, I receive my confirmation. They met in secret. Chosen one, not by accident, but by fear. The same people who once sought your counsel now gather behind closed doors. Their conversations stitched with jealousy and misunderstanding. They cannot comprehend why your presence unsettles them, why your peace feels like a confrontation to their restlessness. You have not wronged them. Your existence simply reminds them of what they abandoned: purpose, purity, and truth. The air in those hidden rooms is thick with pretense, yet heaven listens. They think their whispers go unnoticed, that the walls conceal their deceit. But the unseen realm has ears sharper than their own. Every plotted word echoes upward. Every false agreement shakes the atmosphere. You are not supposed to know the details, but your spirit feels the tremor. Your discernment awakens in the middle of the night, not to torment you, but to prepare you. You feel uneasy, not because of paranoia, but because heaven allows you to sense what others hide. Chosen one. Their meeting wasn't just a gathering of people, it was a collision of spirits. Some were sent to watch you, others to mimic you, and a few to provoke you into disobedience. But even there, in their circle of shadows, heaven's light burned through. Their eyes trembled when they spoke your name, because something inside them knew they were plotting against one who carries divine assignment. You are not to retaliate, you are to rise. Your silence becomes their confusion. Your calm dismantles their accusations. They cannot understand how you remain composed when rumors spread, when lies multiply, when faces change. But you are guarded by peace that surpasses understanding. Every accusation becomes fuel for your promotion. Every false witness builds the platform that will display your truth. Remember, not everyone who claps for you celebrates you. Some applaud only to disguise their envy. Some praise you publicly, but despise you privately. That's why heaven removes you from certain circles before exposure occurs. Rejection becomes redirection. Isolation becomes insulation. You are not being left out, you are being preserved for a higher revelation. And when you hear that your name has been mentioned in secret places, do not tremble. God allows the discussion so He can demonstrate His dominion. He lets your name be carried by the wind so that those who conspire may witness how He shields you. The meeting they held about you was never hidden from heaven's sight. Their words will return to them empty, their schemes dissolving into confusion. You will stand untouched because your covering is not man-made, it is divine. As was spoken in the sacred texts of old, in the book of Isaiah, chapter 54, verse 17. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord. Let that truth settle deep in your soul. The Lord himself fights for you. You do not have to prove innocence when heaven has already declared you blameless. Those who sought to humiliate you will soon feel the weight of divine justice. Their hidden words will echo back, exposing their own intentions. You will not need to speak a single defense. Your peace will become your proof. In their secret meeting, they imagined your downfall. But what they didn't foresee was how God would use even their conversation to accelerate your purpose. Every lie becomes a stepping stone. Every rumor, a reminder that your life is worth mentioning. They speak your name because they see your light. And they see your light because they dwell in darkness. Stay still. Chosen one, let heaven handle what you cannot see. The tables are turning even now, not through your hands, but through divine order. And when the shift is complete, those same mouths that whispered will be silenced by awe. You will walk past them, not in pride, but in peace. Your composure will convict them more deeply than any argument could. Their meeting ended in fear, not because they feared you, but because they felt the tremor of divine presence resting upon your life. The very atmosphere testified that you are marked. The fire they tried to quench only burns brighter. And though they still meet and murmur, their words have lost power. Their unity has lost purpose. So breathe. Chosen one. The shadows cannot harm you. The conversations behind your back are only confirmations that you walk ahead. Heaven attends every meeting about you. And in the silence of your surrender, victory is already being written. The tears that followed, chosen one, were not yours, they were theirs. The ones who plotted, the ones who gathered, the ones who thought their whispers could wound you. They did not expect the power that descended when your name was spoken in deceit. They felt something shift, something sacred, something far beyond their control. The presence they mocked has now turned its gaze upon them, and conviction has fallen like thunder. You must understand, when heaven defends the chosen, it doesn't always roar with visible fire. Sometimes it simply turns the mirror around, forcing the deceiver to see themselves as they truly are. That's why they wept. That's why their plans unraveled. They saw their reflection in the divine light that shields you and realized they had touched something holy without understanding it. Every scheme they built began to crumble. The meeting that started with pride ended in trembling. Their words became heavy in their mouths. Their hearts raced as the air grew thick with unseen judgment. What they meant for harm turned against them in silence. It was not your revenge. It was heaven's response. They couldn't explain it. They said the atmosphere changed, that something unexplainable entered the room. Their emotions betrayed them. Their confidence melted away. For the first time, they understood that you are not alone. You never were. The same spirit that stood with prophets and intercessors now stands with you. And those who mocked your faith have now tasted the weight of divine presence. Do you see now why you were called to remain still? Had you fought them on your own, they would have justified their hatred. But because you surrendered your defense to heaven, the glory became undeniable. The tears of your enemies are not for you to gloat over. They are proof that conviction is real. Even those who opposed you are being given a chance to repent, to return to truth before it's too late. The apostle reminds us in his letter to the Romans, chapter 12, verse 19, "Do not take revenge. My dear friends, but leave room for God's wrath. For it is written, "It is mine to avenge. I will repay," says the Lord. Let that sink into your heart. Chosen one, mercy is your power. The restraint you showed became your weapon every time you chose forgiveness over fury. You aligned yourself with divine justice. And now, those who tried to disgrace you find themselves face to face with their own guilt. That's why the tears came not out of pity, but out of realization. They finally saw who you are. Their tears are a prophecy. Heaven has a way of turning the hearts of the wicked into witnesses. Soon, the same ones who cursed you will confirm that God was with you all along. You don't have to explain your side of the story. Your endurance will preach louder than any word. Their tears are the sound of surrender, the beginning of your vindication. And you, beloved, must not let bitterness root itself in your heart. When heaven fights for you, your role is to stay pure, to stay ready, to stay grateful. Don't look back with vengeance, look forward with vision. The fire that broke them will soon refine you even more. This is not the end, this is the awakening. There are those who will try to approach you again, speaking softly, pretending nothing ever happened. Be wise. Forgive them. But do not return to the same vulnerability that once wounded you. Wisdom does not mean distance from love. It means clarity through love. You can bless them from afar while staying anchored in peace. Your story now carries authority. When others see you calm in the aftermath, they will ask how you endured. Tell them it was never your strength. It was the hand of God. The same hand that silenced storms and wrote destiny now writes your vindication. The tears shed in secret are being transformed into public testimony. So hold your head high. Walk as one forgiven, favored, and fortified. You carry the fragrance of heaven. Those who once mocked it will soon be drawn to it. Their tears mark the moment heaven took over your battle. What they meant for destruction became your consecration. Now, if this word resonates deep within your spirit, declare it out loud in the comments below. I forgive them. And because when you type those 3 words, you don't just speak healing, you activate it. You seal the chapter of pain and open the door to peace. Forgiveness is not weakness. It is the loudest declaration of freedom a chosen one can make. Heaven has never forgotten a single sigh. Chosen one, every sleepless night, every tear that slipped quietly onto your pillow has been counted, kept, and remembered. There are records in heaven's archives, not of your failures, but of your faithfulness. The universe itself bears witness to your endurance. Angels have stood guard during moments when you thought no one cared, preserving what little strength remained in you when the world seemed too heavy to carry. You must know this. Nothing you endured was wasted. Every betrayal became an entry in heaven's ledger. Each wound a testimony of your perseverance. The pain you endured did not disqualify you, it qualified you. When you cried, heaven recorded your voice, not as weakness, but as worship. Your brokenness was not the end of your story. It was the altar where your transformation began. Sometimes you wonder why the good seem to suffer while the deceitful flourish. But heaven's justice is not bound by human time. The delay you experienced was not denial, it was divine strategy. While others moved quickly to gain recognition, you were hidden to gain revelation. While they rushed into visibility, you were molded in obscurity. The hidden season built what applause never could character. endurance, and discernment. You walked through valleys that others avoided. Yet you kept your faith intact. You endured mockery, silence, misunderstanding, and loss. But you never stopped believing that something sacred was at work beneath it all. Even when your prayers felt unanswered, heaven was aligning every detail to bring you here, to this moment of awakening. According to what is revealed in the book of Psalms, chapter 56, verse 8, you keep track of all my sorrows. You have collected all my tears in your bottle. You have recorded each one in your book. Those ancient words still breathe today. Every teardrop has value. It is not forgotten, not unseen. Your pain became the ink heaven used to write your testimony. What you lost in the shadows is now being redeemed in the light. Every moment of confusion is turning into clarity. Every delay into divine timing. The enemy wanted you to think no one noticed your effort, that your goodness was pointless, that your love was wasted. But heaven noticed. God watched. Every time you chose kindness over retaliation, compassion over bitterness, silence over gossip. Those decisions were not small. They were monumental in the unseen realm. They told the heavens who you truly are, not just a believer, but a warrior with restraint, a vessel of mercy. There were nights when the loneliness was too loud, when your heart asked, "Does it even matter?" And heaven whispered, "Yes, it matters, because you matter." What you endured quietly has been seen loudly by the Spirit. Your tears were not signs of defeat. They were sacred language, a form of worship that only the weary understand. In those moments when you felt completely overlooked, angels were dispatched on your behalf, while others forgot your name. Heaven was engraving it deeper in purpose. You have not been ignored. You have been incubated. Everything you thought was ending was actually unfolding. God was not silent. He was scripting. You see, divine justice is patient, not passive. It lets time reveal hearts. It allows deceit to expose itself. And when the scales finally balance, it will not just be your vindication. It will be a revelation for many who doubted. They will see that those who trust in the Lord are never truly forsaken. There is a beauty in what you endured, not because suffering itself is holy, but because it purified your heart. It stripped away pride, dependency, and illusion. It taught you to hear heaven more clearly, to trust what cannot be seen. It removed the noise of false support so that you could hear the whisper of divine guidance. Chosen one. What heaven recorded as pain is now being rewritten as purpose. The very things that wounded you have become your credentials in the Spirit. You survived what was meant to silence you. And now your endurance speaks louder than any enemy ever could. Soon, what was done to you will no longer be the headline. What God does through you. The conversations behind your back will fade, replaced by testimonies spoken in your honor. The evidence of God's favor will silence every doubt. Your name is written not in dust, but in destiny. The tears of yesterday are turning into the oil of tomorrow. The pages of your suffering are now being turned into chapters of power. You thought you were forgotten, but heaven was only waiting for the perfect moment to reveal the full record of your faith. Rest. Chosen one. Heaven remembers. And that remembrance is about to manifest on earth in a way that leaves no question about who has been with you all along. The fire marked you. Chosen one. You did not come out of the storm the same way you entered. The flames that were meant to consume you became the very light that defines you now. Every heartbreak, every closed door, every betrayal, they were the furnaces that heaven used to forge your strength. You are no longer fragile, you are refined. You are no longer searching for purpose, you have become purpose in motion. When gold is placed in fire, it screams before it shines. You, too, have screamed silently perhaps, but heaven heard it. The refining process is never gentle, it burns away illusion, pride, and fear. Yet once the impurities fall away, what remains cannot be shaken. That is what you have become, unshakable truth wrapped in human form. There was a time you begged God to remove the fire, thinking it was punishment. But now you see the flame was never against you, it was for you. It revealed who you were when everything else was stripped away. People walked away. Opportunities vanished. But still you stood. Still you believed. Still you whispered, God, I trust you. Even when you had no visible reason to. That was the moment heaven stamped your identity, marked by fire. As Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 14, you are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden. You cannot be hidden anymore. Chosen one. The light you carry is not for display, it is for direction. Others are stumbling through darkness, searching for something real. And heaven has positioned you as a lighthouse. Your scars glow not to glorify pain, but to guide those still trapped within it. Every time you speak life, every time you forgive, every time you rise again, your light grows brighter. The world does not always understand fire-forged souls. They may call you too intense, too emotional, too different. But intensity is the language of those who have seen both despair and deliverance. You carry depth because you've walked through darkness. You speak hope because you've tasted hopelessness. You love fiercely because you know what it's like to be unloved. So when they question your passion, do not apologize. Flames do not explain themselves to ashes. Let your radiance stand as its own testimony. Those who truly seek truth will feel warmth in your words and light in your presence. And listen closely. Beloved, when you share your story, you scatter sparks. Someone who's been sitting in cold silence will feel seen. Someone ready to give up will feel alive again. That is why your voice matters. That is why your message must go forth. Do not underestimate the reach of your light. In this age where shadows spread fast across digital fields, your testimony becomes fire that purifies timelines, algorithms, and hearts. When you speak, you plant embers in the hearts of others, embers that remind them heaven still moves. So share your story, not for attention, but for awakening. If this message ignites something within you, don't let the flame stay contained. Like this message so that light multiplies across the dark. Share it, and let it travel to the one who thinks God has forgotten them. Subscribe to this movement, not for numbers, but because unity among the chosen amplifies the sound of heaven. And if you feel led, if this word has ministered to your soul, consider sowing into this flame. Your donation becomes oil for the lamp, ensuring that the light never goes out. Because in the same way, a lamp needs oil. Every ministry needs support to continue shining. You are not just giving, you are participating. You are not funding a message, you are fueling a mission, a divine echo that tells weary hearts, You are not alone. Chosen one. You have endured enough nights to understand the value of dawn. Your fire now burns not for survival, but for service. Let others see it. Feel it. Be warmed by it. You are the living evidence that what was meant to destroy you has become your ministry. Do not hide the glow. Walk boldly into rooms where others are afraid to shine. Speak words that carry heat and healing. Let your kindness burn away bitterness, and your forgiveness melt away pride. Every act of love is a spark that sets eternity in motion. And remember, the same God who marked you by fire will keep the flame alive. You will not burn out, you will burn brighter. You will not fade, you will become a beacon. The world needs that light now more than ever. So stand tall, chosen one, and let your story blaze like a sunrise breaking over a long night. Because through you, others will find their way home. There comes a moment, chosen one, when heaven itself says, enough hiding. The season of concealment is closing, and the time of exposure has begun, not exposure for shame, but for truth. What was whispered in darkness is about to be shouted in the light. The plans that were crafted against you in secrecy are now trembling under divine revelation. This is what you've been sensing lately, the sudden shifts, the strange dreams, the unexplainable clarity. Heaven is unveiling things that were long hidden. People who once pretended to stand with you are being shown for who they truly are. The masks are falling, and the stage is being cleared. God is not punishing them, He is protecting you. He exposes not to destroy, but to deliver. The truth, no matter how deeply buried, cannot stay hidden when the light arrives. For years, lies have been layered like dust over your name. But now the wind of God is sweeping through, uncovering every deception. There will be moments when you hear something revealed and your heart will break, not because of betrayal, but because you will finally see what heaven has been shielding you from. Do not let bitterness take root in the soil of revelation. When the light exposes darkness, it also invites mercy. You were not chosen to retaliate. You were chosen to reveal the purity of grace. The unveiling is not just about others, it is also about you. God is showing you how strong you truly are, how steadfast you remained, even when surrounded by manipulation. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms, chapter 37, verse 6, He will make your righteousness shine like the dawn, the justice of your cause like the noonday sun. And the light that once blinded your enemies will now illuminate your destiny. You no longer have to explain yourself. God is doing the speaking. Those who once doubted your integrity will soon witness your elevation. Those who accused you will watch favor rest upon your shoulders. The exposure comes in waves, first softly, then suddenly. One moment you are questioning what's happening. The next, you are standing in a spotlight, heaven built for you. Doors that were once locked will open without you knocking. Opportunities you never pursued will pursue you. But remember, when the light finds you, stay humble, shine, but do not scorch. Glow with purpose, not pride. People may begin to approach you again, this time with smiles that seem sincere. Some will truly have changed. Others will come only to see what they can gain. Let discernment, not emotion, be your guide. The same spirit that revealed truth will continue to guard your heart. You will know the difference between reconciliation and repetition, between those sent to heal and those sent to hinder. And as truth unfolds, peace will settle. The sleepless nights will fade, replaced by clarity and quiet strength. What once confused you will begin to make perfect sense. You will look back and realize that even the betrayals were divine positioning. The people who left were making room for those who were meant to arrive. This unveiling is not the end, it is the threshold. You are stepping into a new atmosphere where lies cannot breathe, where pretense cannot survive. You will find yourself surrounded by realness, real friends, real purpose, real joy. Everything false will simply fall away. Chosen one. When the light shines, it does not ask permission. It simply reveals, and in the revealing, healing begins. Your heart, though bruised, will expand with compassion. You will begin to see even your enemies as instruments, unwilling participants in your purification. They were never in control. They were tools in God's sculpting hands. So do not fear what's coming to light. You are not being exposed. You are being exalted. This exposure is your promotion, your divine announcement. Heaven is saying to the world, this one has been tested and found faithful. And when this word reaches your spirit, affirm it. Comment 888 below, not as superstition, but as a prophetic act, declaring new beginnings and divine revelation. For the number 8 represents resurrection, renewal, and the breaking of cycles. When you type it, you are declaring that no secret formed against you will ever again hold power in the dark. The truth has come. Chosen one. And once the truth appears, it never disappears. Let it shine. Let it heal. Let it lead you forward, for your light has come, and no shadow can withstand its glory. They do not fear your name. Chosen one. They fear what stands behind it. You are not powerful because of who you are in the flesh. You are powerful because of what you carry in the spirit. Every time you step into a room, the unseen realm adjusts. Darkness senses you before people notice you. Your anointing is not loud, but it is loud enough to make hell tremble. You've probably felt it. That strange tension when you arrive somewhere. The sudden shift in atmosphere, the awkward glances, the uneasy silence. It's not arrogance, it's awareness. The light in you disturbs what's unclean around you. You don't even need to speak. Your presence alone exposes what others have tried to hide. That is why certain people distance themselves without explanation. It's not you they dislike, it's the conviction your spirit brings. When you were chosen, heaven placed a seal over your life, invisible to man, but terrifying to darkness. That seal means you cannot be tampered with. Your soul bears divine authority. Your words carry weight because they echo from a higher throne. Even your silence speaks when heaven backs you. And though you may not always feel powerful, the very forces that oppose you know exactly who you are. You have walked through storms that others would not have survived. And you still carry peace. You have faced rejection and still love deeply. That is not natural strength, that is supernatural evidence. You carry something ancient, something holy, something that reminds fallen spirits of what they lost: light, purity, obedience. That's why they come against you. That's why spiritual warfare has always surrounded your life. The voice of God thundered in the book of Exodus, chapter 14, verse 14. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. Now, that truth still roars across time. You have not been fighting alone. Even when it felt like you were surrounded, every spiritual attack, every sudden opposition, every strange delay was not random, it was recognition. Darkness recognized your light before you did. You were marked for destiny. And the enemy has been trying to exhaust you before you realize it. But what darkness forgets is that every strike only deepens your revelation. Every time you're pushed down, your roots dig deeper into faith. You've learned to fight not with fists, but with stillness. You've learned that victory doesn't always look like noise. Sometimes it looks like peace. You are teaching your enemies that silence in obedience is stronger than speech in anger. And understand this: the anointing that terrifies others isn't arrogance, it's alignment. When heaven's purpose and your obedience meet, authority manifests. You don't have to raise your voice. Heaven amplifies your presence. You don't have to seek vengeance. Heaven arranges vindication. You are walking proof that power does not come from control, but from surrender. You are dangerous to darkness because you've learned to stand without bitterness. You've learned to pray for those who hurt you. You've learned that love disarms what hatred fuels. Your compassion is your weapon. Your humility is your armor. Every time you forgive, the kingdom of darkness loses ground. Every time you choose peace, the enemy's strategy collapses. That's why your anointing terrifies them. It's not just the miracles that might come from your hands, it's the mercy that flows from your heart. They expected revenge, you offered redemption. They expected you to collapse, you became stronger. They expected silence from shame, you emerged speaking truth. Every time you rise, you remind the darkness that grace is undefeated. Chosen one, never doubt your impact. There are unseen tremors that follow your obedience. When you pray, atmospheres shift. When you worship, chains break. When you forgive, heaven moves. You may think your life is quiet, ordinary, unnoticed. But in the spirit realm, you are a storm that cannot be ignored. Every step you take sends ripples through eternity. Every word you speak either brings healing or exposes deception. You are not merely surviving, you are advancing. The light in you has already outgrown the confines of your pain. So lift your head, chosen one. Do not hide the fire heaven placed in your spirit. You are not here to blend in, you are here to stand out for divine reasons. Let those who misunderstand you talk. Their confusion is proof of your calling. What they fear, they cannot control. And what they cannot control, heaven will use for glory. The world does not yet fully know what is in you, but soon it will. Until then, walk boldly, walk wisely, and remember, the anointing that terrifies darkness is the same anointing that comforts the broken. You are heaven's paradox, gentle enough to heal, powerful enough to shake the unseen. There comes a breaking point. Chosen one, not yours, but theirs. Those who once moved against you, the ones who whispered your name with mockery, are beginning to crumble under the weight of their own words. They thought they could touch what was sacred and remain untouched. They thought they could wound you and walk away free. But heaven is a witness, and the consequences of their actions have begun to ripple through their lives like waves striking a fragile shore. You may not see it with human eyes, but in the spirit, everything spoken against you is returning to its sender. Not because you cursed them, you didn't need to. Divine justice operates without your permission. What they released into the atmosphere has circled back, carrying the taste of their own deception. The very words that once tried to define you now haunt them. echoing in their conscience. Do not rejoice in their pain. Chosen one, this is not your victory song. This is heaven's correction. Even now, mercy pleads for them. The same God who defended you still extends his hand toward them, offering redemption before ruin. But those who resist the gentle call of repentance will soon learn that divine justice, though patient, is never absent. It begins subtly, a disquiet they cannot name, a heaviness in their spirit. The things that once satisfied them suddenly lose flavor. Their laughter grows hollow, their confidence brittle. Every attempt to justify their wrongs only deepens the conviction pressing on their hearts. They may smile in public, but heaven's gaze has found them. Their breaking point is not punishment, it is an invitation to change. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Hosea, chapter 8, verse 7. They sow the wind and reap the whirlwind. Now, that verse is more than ancient poetry. It is living truth. Every action, every word, every intention carries weight in eternity. When they sowed envy, they thought it was harmless. When they planted deceit, they thought it would grow, unnoticed. But now, the harvest has arrived, and the wind they once stirred against you has become a storm around them. Do not harden your heart as you witness their unraveling. The mark of the chosen is compassion, even in vindication. You have been set apart, not only to triumph, but to intercede. While others curse, you must pray. While others celebrate downfall, you must release forgiveness. For the mercy you extend now will become the mercy that covers you later. The breaking point of the pretenders is a necessary moment in divine order. Heaven cannot elevate you while leaving corruption unaddressed. The exposure and correction are part of your promotion. What is collapsing around you is not chaos, it is cleansing. The false foundations are falling so that truth can finally stand without obstruction. Chosen one, remember how patient heaven was with you. There were seasons when you wandered, seasons when you questioned, and still, grace found you. That same grace now seeks those who wronged you. Some will return, broken, seeking peace. Others will deny what they did, clinging to pride until it consumes them. Your role is not to determine their fate, but to remain available for love. Steady in obedience, unmoved by bitterness. The time will come when some of them will reach out a message, a conversation, a quiet apology. Do not mistake humility for manipulation. Discern through peace. If the Spirit grants release, forgive freely and bless quietly. Heaven honors hearts that choose mercy over memory. And if some never return, let them go. The lesson they learn apart from you may save them in ways your presence never could. Trust that God finishes what He starts, even in the hearts of those who once opposed His chosen. Their breaking point becomes your confirmation. You are stepping into peace because truth has done its work. You no longer need validation, revenge, or even closure. Heaven's justice is your closure. The tears you once cried have now become intercession for those who wronged you, turning pain into purpose. You are free. And freedom changes everything. The storm that once raged around you is now behind you. And the same wind that shattered their plans is the wind that will carry you forward. Do not look back to count the ruins. Look ahead to see the rebuilding. God wastes nothing. Even the collapse of pretenders becomes material for your new beginning. And so, chosen one, stand quietly at the edge of this moment. Let heaven continue its perfect work. You will see justice, but you will also see mercy. For in this divine balance, both the righteous and the rebellious are invited into transformation. You are not merely surviving their downfall, you are witnessing the sovereignty of God unfold before your eyes. When heaven defends you, chosen one, it does not negotiate it, intervenes. You were never meant to fight every battle in your own strength. While you wept, heaven was warring. While you prayed, angels were moving. And while your enemies gathered strategies, divine justice was already in motion. The unseen realm has been working in silence, setting things in order on your behalf. It began the moment you chose surrender over struggle, the instant you whispered, "God, He can't." Heaven answered, "Now, I can." Divine defense doesn't always appear as lightning or thunder. Sometimes it looks like peace you can't explain, or a sudden door that opens when you stopped knocking. You thought you were forgotten, but in truth, you were being surrounded. Every injustice, every lie, every attempt to sabotage your name, none of it escaped the gaze of the Almighty. You didn't need to raise your hand. Heaven raised its standard. You didn't need to chase vindication. Vindication was already chasing you. There are battles you didn't even know existed that have already been won in the spirit realm. The ancient words recorded in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 20, verse 4, remind us, "For the Lord your God goes with you, to fight for you against your enemies, to give you victory." You've seen glimpses of that victory already, the sudden peace after long turmoil, the unexpected restoration after betrayal, the quiet confidence rising in your heart. These are signs that heaven has stepped in. When God takes over, everything changes. The noise around you begins to fade, and what once felt like chaos becomes choreography. Heaven's defense is not always visible, but it is undeniable. People who once disrespected you start speaking your name with reverence. Opportunities that rejected you suddenly reappear. The ones who ignored your worth begin to recognize it, though they cannot explain why. That is the mystery of divine favor. It confuses those who once conspired against you, and while they wonder how you keep standing, the truth is this: you stopped standing alone. Heaven itself has taken position beside you. Your footsteps have been synchronized with divine timing. What was delayed is now being accelerated. You are not being rescued, you are being revealed. Remember, chosen one, you do not fight for victory, you fight from victory. The outcome was settled long before the battle began. You are the proof that divine covering is real. The fact that you survived what was meant to destroy you is evidence that heaven defends its own. Do not waste time arguing with those who still misunderstand you. When heaven defends you, silence becomes your loudest statement. Peace becomes your protest. Grace becomes your greatest weapon. Let God show them what your words could never explain. Some people will be bewildered by your resilience. They will say, after everything, how is this person still standing? But they will not see the unseen, the angels that walk with you, the favor that surrounds you, the prayers of generations that cover you. You are not standing by luck, you are standing by legacy. So now, breathe deeply. Rest in the knowing that God has already gone before you. The doors you need will open, not by force, but by favor. The people meant for you will find you without striving. Every force that tried to bury you has only prepared the soil for your resurrection. You are not behind. You are right on time for divine defense to manifest publicly. Let your confidence rest not in your strength, but in His sovereignty. The Lord who defended David before Goliath, who silenced lions before Daniel, who stood in the fire beside the faithful, that same God stands beside you now. And when this truth settles into your spirit, declare it boldly in the comments. He fights for me. Because every time you say it, you align yourself with that heavenly reality. You remind your fear that you are not alone. You speak faith louder than doubt. You release heaven's authority over every storm still brewing around you. This declaration is not wishful thinking, it's a spiritual agreement with divine defense. When you write those words, the unseen responds. The atmosphere bends toward obedience, and angels take their places around you. What feels like a simple comment becomes a decree in the spirit, a reminder that faith still moves mountains, that heaven still listens, and that you are never forgotten. So walk on, chosen one. Walk as one covered by light, backed by heaven, and anchored in peace. For when heaven defends you, no power on earth can defeat you. Prophecy does not always arrive wrapped in thunder. Chosen one, sometimes it comes in whispers, in quiet confirmations that arrive when you least expect them. What was spoken over you long ago, words you may have even forgotten, is now beginning to unfold. The prophetic fulfillment is not a distant promise anymore. It's a living reality taking form right before your eyes. You may not notice it immediately because prophecy rarely enters through noise. It comes softly, like dawn creeping through the cracks of night. For so long you have waited, questioned, and even doubted if those divine words were real. But time was never the problem. Readiness was. Heaven had to shape you to carry what it promised you. And now, as the alignment begins, the air around you feels different. What once resisted you now responds to you. The same path that used to reject you begins to welcome your steps. People who once dismissed you are suddenly drawn to your presence. Not knowing it's not you, they're drawn to. But the fulfillment moving through you, we find in the book of Isaiah, chapter 55, verse 11. My word that goes out from my mouth will not return empty, but will accomplish what I desire and fulfill my purpose. You are living in that appointed fulfillment now. The vision that seemed delayed is arriving right on schedule. The waiting wasn't wasted, it was worship. Every tear, every prayer, every act of faith in silence became the soil that nurtured this divine manifestation. You've been waiting for the harvest, but heaven has been waiting for your maturity. This is the moment where faith meets fruition. The words once carried in your spirit are now stepping into flesh and form. Don't be surprised when divine connections appear out of nowhere, when opportunities align like stars. What feels sudden has actually been in preparation for years. You are about to see prophecies manifest through people you least expect. The helper you prayed for might appear disguised as a stranger. The door you've been waiting to open might appear ordinary at first glance, but when you step through it, you'll realize it was never just an opportunity, it was a continuation of the prophecy. Yet, as the fulfillment comes, stay humble. Do not rush ahead of grace. Remember that fruit ripens slowly, and even miracles need maintenance. Your role is not to prove anything, but to steward everything. The same patience that brought you here will sustain you here. Think of yourself as a tree planted in divine timing. Your branches are spreading, your roots are deepening, and your fruit is finally appearing. Some will admire it, others will question it, and a few may even try to pluck from it without understanding the cost of its growth. Protect your fruit, but do not hoard it. Let your story feed the hungry. And as your life begins to reflect the promises you once prayed for, let gratitude overflow. Gratitude is the fragrance that keeps your blessing fresh. When you give thanks, you remind heaven that you remember where the promise came from. Gratitude multiplies what pride diminishes. Beloved, if this message is resonating deeply with your spirit, take a moment to breathe and feel the truth of it. You are standing in a holy unfolding. What once was only prophecy has become your personal history in motion. And as this revelation touches your heart, let it move through your hands. Like this message, so others can find hope in their waiting. Share it, because someone right now is at the edge of giving up. And your simple act might be the sign they need to hold on. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Not just to follow, but to stay connected with this growing flame of faith. And if you feel led, consider sowing into this ministry. Your offering is not a transaction. It's participation. It's like pouring oil into a lamp that has been lighting countless dark rooms across the world. Every contribution, whether in prayer, sharing, or giving, becomes a seed in this field of light. Together, we make sure the message keeps burning bright, reaching those who need it most. Because, chosen one, this isn't just a broadcast, it's a movement, a gathering of those who still believe in miracles, in destiny, in divine timing. You are part of something eternal, something that doesn't fade when the screen turns off. So keep standing, keep shining, and keep believing. The prophecy didn't fail you, it has just arrived, clothed in perfect timing. This is the beginning of the visible glory that's been forming in the unseen for so long. You're not chasing the promise anymore. The promise has caught up to you. The time of restoration has arrived. Chosen one, what they took from you, your peace, your name, your confidence is being returned. Not in fragments, but in fullness. Heaven never restores halfway. Every loss was temporary, every theft was recorded, and now the accounts are being balanced. The crown they buried is rising from the ashes to find its rightful owner again. You may not even recognize yourself at first, because divine restoration doesn't merely return what was lost, it transforms it. The crown being placed upon your head is not the same one they tried to remove. It is brighter, heavier with wisdom, and shaped by endurance. You've been through too much to wear the same glory as before. What's coming back carries the scent of fire and the mark of grace. The years of delay were not wasted. They were preparing you to handle what's being restored. Before, you might have worn the crown with innocence. Now, you wear it with understanding. Before, you trusted everyone who smiled. Now, you see through intention. Before, you needed validation. Now, you walk in quiet assurance. This is not arrogance, it's awakening. There's a sacred reversal taking place. Those who mocked you will witness your crowning, not as a moment of revenge, but as evidence that God keeps his promises. They will look at you and remember every word they spoke in doubt, every time they laughed when you fell. And instead of bitterness, compassion will rise within you, because you will finally understand that their cruelty was necessary to reveal your strength. Heaven speaks clearly through the words in the book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 25. I will restore to you the years that the locust has eaten. And that promise stretches across centuries and still lands gently in your life today. The locusts, those seasons that devoured joy, hope, and time, did not have the final word. Heaven did. And heaven's decree over you is restoration, not only of possessions, but of identity, dignity, and destiny. You may feel the subtle stirring already. Opportunities are reappearing, not by coincidence, but by command. People who once ignored you are now seeking your wisdom. Where there was emptiness, there is now overflow. Where doors were sealed, hinges are loosening. Even the areas of your life that seemed irreparable are being renewed from the inside out. Restoration does not always happen through new beginnings. Sometimes it happens through healed endings. You will see reconciliation in places you wrote off as lost. You will feel closure in wounds you thought would never close. You will wake up one morning realizing that what once made you cry now makes you grateful. This is how heaven works: quietly, thoroughly, perfectly. It does not shout, it simply restores. You don't have to fight for what's yours anymore. You simply need to be present to receive it. The divine crown does not need chasing. It finds the head it was made for. Chosen one. Do not rush this moment. Let restoration come gently. You've spent years striving, pushing, praying through pain. Now, let grace do what your effort could not. You are in the season of divine return, a time where what was unfairly taken will be repaid with interest. Even the losses that seemed permanent are being rewritten. Broken friendships will either return in truth or dissolve to make room for better ones. Financial droughts will give way to abundance that carries peace, not pressure. Emotional wounds will heal into wisdom, teaching you how to protect your peace without closing your heart. And perhaps most importantly, you are regaining your voice. The voice that once trembled from fear, the one that others tried to silence, it now speaks with authority. You will find yourself speaking life again, blessing again, believing again. Because this is what restoration truly is. Not just getting back what was stolen, but remembering who you are. The return of your crown is more than symbolic. It is the visible sign that the testing season is over. The same hand that allowed the breaking is now placing honor upon you. Heaven is declaring to the unseen realms that you endured, you remained, and now you reign not over people, but over yourself, over your emotions, over your peace. So stand still, chosen one, and feel the weight of restoration settling upon you. The crown may feel unfamiliar at first, not because it's too heavy, but because it fits the new version of you. You are not who you were when you lost it. You are wiser, stronger, purer, and infinitely more aware of who stands with you. The return is here. The restoration is real. And the crown, oh, the crown was never gone. It was simply being reforged. For the moment heaven decided the time was right. That time is now. Every story written by heaven, chosen one, eventually turns, and now it's turning in your favor. The season you're stepping into is not about survival anymore. It's about reversal. The great reversal is here. Everything that was turned against you is being flipped for your good. What was meant to humiliate you is becoming your honor. What was designed to break you is building your platform. You have been walking uphill for so long that you've forgotten what it feels like to breathe without pressure. But now, heaven is shifting the weight. The pressure that once crushed you will now propel you. The winds that once opposed you will now carry you forward. You are standing in the divine moment where God says, "Now watch me turn it." Oh, those who once stood above you are watching in silence as tables turn. The very systems that overlooked you are now seeking your presence. The very people who dismissed your worth are now replaying the conversations they once ignored. Don't gloat. Simply recognize divine symmetry. Every injustice is being balanced. As the Apostle reminds us in his letter to the Corinthians, chapter 2, verse 9, "No eye has seen, no ear has heard, no heart has imagined what God has prepared for those who love him." Oh, you are living that unseen preparation right now. The unseen labor of your prayers, your fasting, your perseverance, all of it has created momentum in the Spirit. Heaven has not forgotten the years you remained faithful while others mocked. Those years have compounded into favor. This reversal is not luck, it's divine arithmetic. And when God reverses things, he does it thoroughly. You will not just recover position, you will redefine it. You will not just receive what was lost, you will inherit more than you ever had. There is an anointing of overflow resting on you. Doors are not just opening, they are being rebuilt with your name carved above them. Be mindful. The reversal does not come to embarrass others, but to glorify God through your restoration. The same mouths that spoke against you will speak blessings in your direction. Some will do so out of sincerity, others out of awe. But either way, truth will triumph. What once looked like your ending will become the chapter the world cannot stop reading. You might notice how the atmosphere around you feels different, lighter, yet charged with purpose. It's because the resistance that once surrounded you has lifted. The heaviness that weighed on your shoulders has been replaced by grace. You don't have to force this new season. It unfolds naturally. What was once a battlefield is becoming a garden again. But do not rush to claim credit. When people ask, "How did it happen?" your answer must remain the same. God turned it. Because you did not manipulate your way here. You endured your way here. Your integrity became the key that opened what manipulation could not. Heaven celebrates those who remain pure while waiting. And now, it is heaven's joy to honor you publicly. The divine reversal will not be subtle, it will be seen, heard, and undeniable. Even your silence will testify of it. And here's what you must know. Chosen one, when reversal begins, blessings multiply faster than you expect. Stay grounded. Stay generous. Don't let success make you forget the humility that protected you in the wilderness. The same gratitude that sustained you in lack will preserve you in abundance. Some of the ones who wronged you will approach you again not to mock, but to seek wisdom. You will teach them what grace looks like. Your response will carry healing. Your rise will preach louder than any sermon, because it will show that obedience always outlasts opposition. Let this truth anchor you. You are walking into divine symmetry, where the scales of time and justice balance perfectly. The pain you endured is now being repaid in peace. The humiliation you faced is being repaid in honor. The rejection you carried is being repaid in recognition. Nothing is wasted, everything is redeemed. And if this word burns in your spirit like confirmation, seal it with faith. Type 444 inches, the comments, not for luck, but as a prophetic declaration of alignment, foundation, and divine order. The number 4 represents stability and completion in creation. Typing it is your act of agreement with heaven's restoration plan. Because this reversal, chosen one, is not temporary. It is permanent. It is the evidence that obedience pays, that patience produces, that faith fulfills. What once felt like loss has become legacy. What once hurt you will now help others. This is not payback. It is purpose restored to its rightful owner. The tables have turned, and now all creation watches as you take your rightful seat at them. You are the evidence. Chosen one, not a theory, not a rumor, not a hope deferred, but living, breathing proof that divine justice is real. The very fact that you're still standing after everything that tried to destroy you is testimony enough. Your survival isn't an accident, it's a sign. Heaven has written your endurance into the timeline of history as evidence that light always outlasts the storm. Look at yourself now. You've changed, not only in strength, but in spirit. The way you see the world has deepened you, perceive layers where others see surface. You recognize pain in smiles, deception in charm, truth in silence. These aren't traits of cynicism, they're gifts of discernment, forged through fire. Every scar you carry is a chapter of wisdom. Every lesson, a weapon polished by experience. When you walk into places that once intimidated you, something inside those walls recognizes authority. You no longer need to announce who you are. The atmosphere adjusts. Heaven's mark is evident upon you, not as arrogance, but as authenticity. You have become a living sanctuary, a walking testimony that faith can survive famine, that grace can outlive gossip, and that peace can grow in the soil of pain. There was a time when you asked God, "Why me?" Now you understand, because your story needed to exist. There are people watching from a distance who will believe in redemption because they've seen you rise. Your life preaches sermons, words could never capture. The way you forgive, the way you smile after sorrow, the way you still believe it all testifies to the power of divine preservation. As was spoken in the sacred texts of old, in the book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 11, they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony. That verse is your reflection. You have overcome not by perfection, but by perseverance. Your story carries the power to set others free. Every time you tell what God has done, chains break in invisible places. Someone who thought it was too late for them suddenly feels hope stirring again. You are evidence that God still moves, still restores, still calls the broken into beauty. The world doesn't need another flawless hero. It needs witnesses, those who can say, "I've been there, and he brought me out." You are that witness. Heaven didn't rescue you just to save you. It rescued you to make you visible proof of mercy's endurance. You are walking evidence that pain cannot cancel purpose. Even your silence speaks. When you enter a space, hearts soften without knowing why. That's the residue of grace. You carry the quiet radiance of someone who has been through darkness and emerged, luminous. Your resilience has become ministry. Your wounds have become windows for others to glimpse God's goodness. You may not realize it, but someone is watching you quietly, taking notes on how you hold peace amid chaos. They see how you choose kindness when cruelty would be easier, how you keep believing when logic says quit. Your life is their blueprint. You are the evidence that the unseen hand of heaven still guides, still guards, still gives. There will be moments when you question whether your impact matters. You'll wonder if your small acts of compassion change anything at all. But heaven keeps the record, every seed of kindness, every whispered prayer, every time you held someone's tears in silence. Nothing escapes divine notice. What you plant in love returns in legacy. Do not underestimate your influence just because it isn't loud. Some testimonies roar like thunder. Others flow quietly like rivers, yet both carve valleys and shape nations. You may never know who you've saved from despair just by surviving. But heaven knows. Heaven sees. Heaven keeps count. And even now, your story is still unfolding. New chapters are being written, each one revealing deeper dimensions of grace. The world will see not just what you've endured, but what you've become because of it. The evidence of divine justice will continue to shine through you, in your peace, in your laughter, in your love that refuses to grow cold. You are not merely proof that God delivers, you are proof that He transforms. You were not only pulled out of the storm, you were made into light for others still trapped within it. Every time you choose hope, you prove heaven right. Every time you love again, you confirm the victory. So stand tall, chosen one. The court of heaven has declared its verdict. You are the evidence. You are the living display of grace, triumphant. The scars you bear are no longer signs of defeat, but seals of authenticity. The very hands that were once empty are now lifted, carrying glory. You are proof that what was once broken can become beautiful, and that divine purpose never fails. Separation, chosen one, is never easy, yet it is holy. The time has come for heaven to draw the line between what is genuine and what is counterfeit, between those who are called and those who are merely curious. This is not cruelty, it is clarity. The same God who gathers also divides, for light cannot share space with shadow. What you feel right now, the distance, the quiet exits, the sudden endings, is divine surgery, not social chaos. God is pruning your life again, and though it stings, it saves you. Some connections are being cut, not because they were all bad, but because they can no longer grow with you. You've been elevated into an atmosphere that demands purity of purpose. The altitude you're reaching cannot sustain the weight of pretenders. The higher the flight, the lighter the load. You may look around and wonder why certain people who once walked beside you have disappeared. Don't chase after them, bless them. Their part in your story has been fulfilled. Some were meant to teach you loyalty, others to reveal deception, and a few simply to awaken discernment. Each served their purpose, and now heaven moves them out of the frame, so your next chapter can be written without distortion. This separation isn't about superiority, it's about sanctity. You are not being made better than others. You are being made ready for what others could not carry. The separation is not punishment, it is protection. When you prayed for peace, God began removing people who disturbed it. When you prayed for focus, He silenced the noise. And now, what looks like loneliness is actually alignment. The prophet Amos spoke clearly in the scroll of his writing. Chapter 3, verse 3. Can two walk together unless they are agreed? That question pierces like truth itself. Agreement is the foundation of unity. Without shared vision and heart, connection becomes conflict. Heaven is ensuring that your circle reflects your calling. The true will remain, the false will fade. Those who are of God will recognize your light, not compete with it. Those who are not will grow uncomfortable and drift away. Let them. You've spent too long trying to keep peace with people who secretly resented your purpose. You tried to explain what they refused to understand. You tried to carry those who never intended to walk. But the season of convincing is over. This next chapter requires quiet obedience, not constant explanation. You cannot bring everyone where you are going, not because they are evil, but because they are not assigned. Sometimes separation feels like rejection, but it's actually redirection. When certain doors close, it's heaven closing access to unnecessary warfare. When hearts harden against you, it's heaven softening your dependence on approval. You don't need their agreement when you already have divine assignment. And as the separation continues, peace will surprise you. You will realize that solitude does not equal isolation, it equals sanctification. You will find joy in stillness, clarity in silence, and strength in surrender. You will no longer chase after validation. You will rest in purpose. Chosen one. This divine division is precise. It will expose counterfeit alliances disguised as loyalty. It will reveal who celebrated your growth and who tolerated it. You will see how some loved your potential but hated your process. But don't let disappointment consume you. Revelation is mercy. God exposes before he elevates. As false teas break, true ones will form. Heaven will send those who speak your spiritual language, those who carry genuine peace instead of polite pretense. You will feel the difference where before you had to force conversation. Now, connection flows naturally. These are divine alignments, not temporary friendships. They will not drain you. They will disciple you. It may hurt at first. The heart mourns what the spirit outgrows, but healing will follow swiftly. For the space left empty is being prepared for divine companionship, people who will push you toward destiny, not distraction. You will learn that love without purpose is limitation, and loyalty without truth is bondage. When the dust settles, you will look around and realize that what remains is holy. Every face left in your circle will reflect authenticity. Every word spoken to you will carry weight. You will no longer fear loss, for you will finally understand that nothing truly yours can be taken, and nothing taken was truly yours. So do not mourn the separation. Let heaven finish its division. You are being purified, simplified, and prepared. The noise is leaving. The clarity is arriving. Soon, you will thank God not just for the people who stayed, but for the ones who left, because without their departure, you would have never discovered the strength of your own calling. This is the final separation before your revelation. Let it come with peace, and let peace remain when it's done. You were never meant to remain hidden forever. Chosen one. The season of concealment served its purpose, but now the world will know your name, not for fame, but for testimony. What once was whispered about you in rumor will soon be spoken with reverence. The world is about to witness what heaven has known all along. You were anointed for visibility, not vanity. Your story is a seed that has been buried deep, unseen, misunderstood, and forgotten by many. But the thing about seeds is this: burial and planting look the same from the outside. What they thought was your end was only your beginning. The soil that covered you was not your grave, it was your cradle. And now, heaven says, arise. Now, you can feel it, can't you? The gentle stirring, the cracks forming in the earth above you. The light is breaking through. The same ground that once confined you is now pushing you upward. You are growing beyond the limits placed upon you. You are being called to stand where others once said you would never belong. This is your emergence, not by force, but by fulfillment. As the Spirit declared in the writings of David, the book of Psalms, chapter 75, verse 6, promotion comes not from the east or west, nor from the south, but God is the judge. He brings one down and lifts another up. It is not man who lifts you, it is God. It is not opportunity that crowns you, it is obedience. The world will soon see that no manipulation, nor alliance, no human influence could have created what is happening in your life. What's unfolding now carries heaven's fingerprint. But hear this clearly: when visibility comes, humility must stay. You are not rising to be adored, you are rising to be an example. The spotlight can purify or corrupt depending on what burns within it. Let your motive remain love, not validation. Let your influence be light, not lightning, illuminating, not striking. When people begin to mention your name, don't shrink back in false humility. And don't boast in pride. Stand steady, knowing you were built for this. You don't need to prove your worth. You only need to serve your purpose. The world is filled with noise, but heaven is looking for voices clear, compassionate, courageous. Be that voice. And as your story touches others, remember that visibility carries responsibility. The platforms you step onto are pulpits. The rooms you enter are assignments. Every audience you meet is a field waiting for seed. So speak with grace, act with integrity, and love with consistency. You are not simply being recognized, you are being released. Think of it like this: a lighthouse does not chase ships, it simply stands where it was built and shines. That's all you must do. Shine steadily, stand firmly, let your light guide, not blind. You are not responsible for who follows, you are responsible for who finds hope through your glow. If this word finds your spirit burning brighter, help the flame spread. Like this message, if it stirs something within you, because each like is not vanity. It's a signal to heaven that you're ready to be seen for the right reasons. Share it, not for attention, but as an act of compassion. Someone scrolling through darkness tonight may find their direction through your simple act of sharing. Subscribe, if you haven't, so that the stream of light flowing through this space can continue reaching further. We are more than a channel. We are a gathering of awakened souls, a constellation of chosen ones rising together. And if your heart feels led, sow into this mission. Donations here are not about money, they are about momentum. You are adding oil to the lamps that keep this light shining across countless hearts and homes. And after you've listened, leave your thoughts below. Your comment isn't just text, it's a testimony. Someone might scroll down and see your words. And in that moment, decide not to give up. You never know what ripple your voice might cause in the ocean of someone's despair. Chosen one. Your rise will not be loud, it will be luminous. The world will see your peace before they hear your name. Your life will become a story that preaches without words, and those who once doubted you will silently whisper, "Surely, God was with them." You are not chasing recognition. Recognition is chasing you. You are not climbing. You are ascending. And as you ascend, remember to reach back, lift others, inspire others. Remind them that they, too, were born for the light. The world will know your name, but heaven will know your heart. That is the kind of fame that never fades. The moment has arrived. Chosen one, the one you've been sensing in your spirit but couldn't yet name. The waiting is over. The refining fire has cooled. The pruning has ceased. And now you stand on the threshold of your destiny. You do not stumble into this moment by luck. You step into it by lineage. Every trial that broke you was a rehearsal for this unveiling. Every lonely night, every whispered prayer, every tear, they were all constructing the bridge you now walk across. You are stepping into the fullness of your calling. This is not just a season of opportunity, it is a season of divine orchestration. The melody of your life is no longer discordant, it is harmonizing with heaven's rhythm. You can feel the difference. What used to drain you now excites you. What once confused you now makes perfect sense. You've stopped fighting what God is doing, and now you are flowing with it. There was a time when you questioned if you were worthy. You wondered if perhaps you had misheard heaven's voice. You compared your pace with others and assumed delay meant disqualification. But now, looking back, you see how every pause protected you, how every detour redirected you toward precision. Destiny is never early, never late. It arrives exactly when maturity meets readiness. Heaven speaks clearly through the writings of Paul in the book of Philippians, chapter 1, verse 6, being confident of this, that he who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Christ. That verse is your assurance. The same God who called you will complete what he started. The same Spirit that sustained you through the wilderness will now guide you through the harvest. You are not being promoted by men, you are being positioned by heaven, and this positioning is permanent. Destiny doesn't just open doors, it opens dimensions. You are about to operate in a depth you didn't even know existed. Your words will carry healing. Your presence will release peace, and your discernment will pierce deception. This is not because of who you are, but because of who God is within you. You have become a vessel that no longer leaks, one that pours without depletion. The calling is not glamorous, it is glorious. It will demand everything: discipline, humility, faith. You cannot carry both purpose and pretense. One must go. You have been purified to carry purity, not popularity. The platform ahead of you is not built of fame but of faithfulness. Stand firm upon it, not as one seeking validation, but as one serving revelation. You will begin to notice divine patterns, conversations that feel familiar because heaven scripted them long ago. People arriving at precise moments, not by coincidence, but by calling. You will no longer chase. What belongs to you will find you. Every resource, every alliance, every opportunity will align, because destiny has magnetism. What is meant for you cannot miss you. Still, remain anchored. Destiny can elevate you so quickly that it tempts the ego to rise with it. Remember that greatness without grace is noise. You were not chosen to shine alone, but to reflect divine brilliance. The power moving through you is not ownership, It is stewardship. Your victories are not trophies, they are testimonies. As you step forward, there will be moments of awe, doors that open effortlessly, audiences that listen without resistance, blessings that multiply without explanation. Do not be surprised by favor. It is heaven's reward for faithfulness. But also, do not idolize the fruit. The true miracle is not what's happening around you, but what's happening within you: peace, clarity, and unwavering trust. The world may begin to call this your arrival, but heaven calls it your assignment. This is where the real work begins. You are entering your purpose not to be celebrated, but to be sent. You are heaven's ambassador to weary hearts, its voice to silent sufferers, its light to forgotten places. And though you walk among many, remember that you answer to one. Every step, every word, every act must echo his heart. Let compassion guide you. Let humility steady you. And let wisdom guard you. You are not here to impress. You are here to impact. Look around you. Chosen one. The wilderness behind you has become a memory. The horizon before you glows with promise. You've crossed from preparation into manifestation. What was once prophecy is now presence. The long season of pruning has produced fruit. And heaven is smiling, not because you've arrived, but because you obeyed. You stand in destiny's doorway. Step through boldly, gently, faithfully. For this is what you were created for all along. Heaven vapes tonight. Chosen one, not in sorrow, but in awe. The journey has been long, the battles unrelenting, the silence deafening. Yet here you stand. You made it through storms that others did not survive, through valleys that seemed endless, through nights that stole your breath, but never your faith. The tears of heaven are not of pity, they are of wonder. The hosts look upon you and see living evidence that faith still conquers fear, that obedience still outlasts opposition. You were not chosen because you were the strongest. You were chosen because you would not quit. While others sought shortcuts, you sought truth. While others collapsed under pressure, you knelt and prayed. The strength within you was never your own. It was heaven's borrowed breath. Each time you thought you had nothing left to give, grace whispered, "One more step." Now you stand not as a victim of your past, but as a vessel of promise. Everything you lost has turned into wisdom. Everything that broke you has become sacred power. You've been reshaped into something unshakable, a soul that no longer bends beneath burden, but bends only in reverence. Heaven looks upon you and says, "This one endured." Oh, the ancient words recorded in the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 4, verse 17, come alive within you now. For our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all. And that glory is no longer distant, it radiates from within you. The weight of suffering has been converted into splendor. The very pain that once silenced you now speaks through you. Every wound you carry shines like a window, letting divine light pass through where darkness once lived. You are no longer defined by what hurt you, but by what healed you. There is a holy stillness in this moment, a pause before the next divine symphony begins. Heaven holds its breath as earth prepares to witness what endurance produces. You have become something heaven delights in, a reflection of its persistence, a reminder that love cannot be extinguished. only refined. And so, chosen one, lift your gaze. The same heavens that once felt far now draw near. The angels that guarded you in the shadows now surround you in celebration. They watched every moment of your transformation, the nights when you whispered prayers through tears, the mornings when you forced yourself to rise despite fatigue. They saw your surrender, your silent worship, your faith that refused to fracture. Every tear shed in faith has turned into a note in heaven's melody. The sound of your endurance has become a song that never fades. When heaven weeps for you, those tears fall as rain upon your future, watering every seed of hope you've planted along the way. You thought you were alone, but heaven was leaning over you the whole time, whispering strength into your bones. You have entered the sacred paradox power clothed in humility, majesty born from meekness. You've learned that true victory is not loud, it's luminous. It's not about conquering others, but mastering yourself, your anger, your pride, your pain. That mastery has made you a vessel of peace. Wherever you go now, heaven follows. Do not fear what comes next. The same God who carried you through fire will now carry you through fulfillment. You are stepping into a peace that does not depend on circumstance, a joy that does not require validation, a love that does not demand return. You have become anchored in eternity, even as you walk upon the earth. When heaven looks at you, it sees the reflection of divine craftsmanship. You are the evidence that God still molds hearts with his own hands. You are the living story that angels whisper to one another when they speak of resilience. You are the reminder that grace still wins. And as the light of dawn rises again, not the dawn of a new struggle, but of a new strength, remember this: you are not merely blessed, you are entrusted. Entrusted with wisdom, with compassion, with influence that must be wielded in love. You are heaven's answer to someone's prayer, the embodiment of hope for those still trapped in darkness. Let the tears of heaven wash over you, not as sorrow, but as sanctification. Let them remind you that even in your lowest moments, you were seen. Even in your silence, you were heard. Even in your weakness, you were chosen. Now walk forward, crowned not by man's recognition, but by heaven's rejoicing. You have finished the long ascent. You have become the melody of grace, the rhythm of mercy, the echo of endurance. The world will never forget what heaven saw in you, a living flame that refused to die. The story does not end here. It only begins in greater glory. Chosen one, if your heart is still trembling from what you've heard, let that trembling be worship. You have walked through 17 revelations, from whispers in secret rooms to heaven's tears of awe, and you have come out radiant. The message you've carried through these words isn't just mine, it's ours. It's heaven's. It's yours. Take a breath. Feel how different the air is now. What you have read has planted something eternal inside you, a reminder that you are seen, shielded, and sent. Every sentence was a spark, every image a mirror. You are the story. Heaven keeps telling the living proof that divine design never fails. And now, before this moment fades into another scroll or another day, pause with me. If this journey stirred something deep within you, if it helped you remember who you are, then help the light travel further. Like this message, not as a routine gesture, but as a declaration that you choose the light. Each like is a lantern placed along a dark road so another soul can find their way. Share it, not for attention, but for compassion. Somewhere, someone is sitting in silence right now, wondering if God has forgotten them. Your simple act could be the whisper that saves them. Comment your reflections below. Your words might become the confirmation another chosen one has been praying for. Tell the truth of what moved you, what healed you, what awakened you, because testimonies echo louder than sermons. Let your comment become a ripple in the ocean of grace. If your spirit is nudged to support this work through prayer, through kindness, through giving, do it with joy. Every act of generosity becomes oil for the flame that keeps this message alive, ensuring that more souls find warmth in its glow. You've reached the end, yet it feels like a beginning, doesn't it? That's because truth never ends. It only unfolds. Walk forward, radiant and renewed, carrying the echo of these words wherever you go.